So walk me through, I don't know, let's use like a example deal here. Let's say you got a company that's doing $1 million a year in EBITDA or SDE, and they're interested in working with Moonshot. They're interested in continuing to work with you guys, and by taking some chips off the table, what would a deal at a high level look like? Again, I know every deal is a little bit different. Everything gets negotiated, et cetera. But like, you get this $1 million EBITDA company. The cash offers right now are somewhere would be probably 4 to 5 million. And you kind of, again, you walk off into the sunset. If they wanted to continue to work with you guys, continue to work on their business, potentially grow other divisions of Moonshot, what would the pitch be?
Yeah, definitely. So for a company like that, we look at the company and assuming it goes through, we have multi-criteria and a bunch of data to look at, where the valuation is. We're very data driven, and we have multiple sources, where we look at comparables, where we look at macro data, thousands of other data points to really understand what the universe of companies is in the space. And then, like you said, if we like the company, we'll make an offer, in the range you just described. And if they're a group that, doesn't want to just take all their chips off the table today, but they want to build with us and build that division out and make it bigger and help with, acquiring companies in a similar space, we'll create like an incentive structure for them when they join the company so that they'll be able to not only have, an upfront amount like you described to buy their company, but if they help us grow the company over the next few years, there'll be, compensation that is based on how we grow it together that will give them another chance to get, another piece of the pie. And, we're building a global company and a conglomerate. And, we all know that, there are companies in this space like Thrasio and so forth that are going to go public soon. And, I have no idea, with, a timeline for things like that. But, in the conglomerate model, I think we bring technology to these companies. We bring, online marketers who worked at unicorns in the past who, can really help take these companies to the next level. And these folks that join us, they have a stake in that. Like they have a big second outcome that they can get as part of our company, in the form of, consideration that they'll be able to get as they help us build out those groups. So really, in the long run for those folks, it's probably the biggest upside because not only do they get upside when we buy the company, but they also receive upside as we grow it together to the next level.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So like going back to that example, and again,
Sure.
I realize every deal is probably different, but there's always a starting point for negotiation. Let's say, that this $1 million EBITDA company is valued at $4.5 million, just to kind of use
Sure.
random numbers. What would the offer then be in terms of how much of the company are you looking to acquire, and how much would the old owner retain going into Moonshot? Does that equity convert into a percentage of Moonshot overall, or is there some separate division or a series of LLCs that get created where it's operate under that umbrella? I'm just kind of curious how the sausage looks under the hood there.
Yeah. No, I would say the way it works is that, when a transaction like that happens and that group sort of joins us, I mean, it's a little more complicated. Like I'm a lawyer, so I want to make sure I don't get into super, complicated level of detail. But, we build up like an incentive structure within that is like an equity-like structure. Like there are a bunch of legal frameworks to be able to build structures like that. And then these folks get an upside ability to earn through upside this piece of equity, which essentially on a certain event happening, an acquisition or a public offering or whatever, crystallize and they become the kind of upside you can get from being a public entity or being an entity that's acquired.
Gotcha. So, in that example, I mean, how much retention are you looking for the owner to keep in terms of equity moving
Yeah,
forward?
I would still say we're for the most part, we're looking to buy the majority of a company's ownership.
Gotcha. So you're looking to go in and get 80% of it or something. The old owner keeps 20% or something in that range.
Correct. Like that.
Yep.
That would be directionally right. Like each case is different.
Yep. And that seems pretty in line with what you see with some of the larger private equity deals. You know, a lot of times there's some type of retention. They want the old owner to have some stake in it to continue to have upside and at least pick up the phone when they get the phone call of like questions to be answered and things like that, even if they want to put off in the sunset.
Like a little bit what you're saying, like, look, we want to attract the people that believe the most in their business. So like, I get it. I sold businesses and some of them were, great. And, I think it's a great signal when someone's like, look, like I've done a great job. I built a great business here. I know what I'm good at. I know where, I have some shortcomings, which could be additive. And assuming they look at us and, we have a discussion and we talk through, what we do in marketing, what we do with technology, what we do with supply chain, and what we do with data analytics. And it's something that they think fills an area and fills a void where, 1 and 1 equals 3, all of us are aligned on the future of building this together, and we really fill up each other's bucket in a way that is super beneficial to growth and scaling and really international expansion.